But it is pitch time. Our entrants are starting their engines and getting ready to roll. Pitching first today, we have got Helena. G'day, Helena.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. You are first for our pitching this morning. Now we've got our timekeeper up there. I'm going to mute myself and go, and then our timekeeper will start. Give you your 10 minutes, and then as soon as you're done, I'll be back on screen and we'll kick off with Q&A. So if everybody can head into the Q&A box and get ready to ask those questions, I will read them out to Helena at the end of her pitch. All righty, off you go.
Over to me. Well, thank you so much, and good morning from lockdown here in Sydney. And thank you so much to the team at Hays and to the ATC for giving us the opportunity to be here and pitch. And thanks to everyone for getting up this morning and attending. My name's Helena, and I'm one of the co-founders of a new HR tech business called Flow of Work Co. Just over a year ago, I thought it would be a good idea to leave my comfortable corporate HR innovation career and join 3 former colleagues to start my own HR tech business, because why not do it in the middle of a global pandemic? Our mission is to enable people to find their version of meaningful and fulfilling work where they're engaged and empowered. And research shows that companies whose employees feel fulfilled, challenged and satisfied in their roles are 21% more profitable, and they have 34% less employee turnover. And the risk to companies who ignore the needs of their people is really clear. Some recent Gallup research suggests that an alarming 80% of your people would leave you for a better opportunity. And aside from the pain of losing good people, and we all know how hard it is to hire right now, employee turnover costs businesses a lot of money. The average cost of replacing a leaver in Australia is $64,000. So if you're in a 1,000 person organisation right now and you have average employee turnover, which is about 12%, give or take, the cost of regrettable churn to you is around $5 million each year. And if we scale that up across the whole of Australia, the estimated impact of employee turnover, according to Josh Bersan, is around $18 billion each year. And what's driven me so crazy throughout my career in HR is watching talented people who crave development or the chance just to try something new turn to the external job market. And at the same time, our internal recruitment team are busy searching for people just like them. In this current market, if you're not tapping up your own internal talent, rest assured someone else is. And we believe it's time to break this cycle. And so we're part of a new wave of HR tech. We're building a talent insights and opportunity platform that leverages AI to support the needs of both the individual employee and the organisation. Our solution's broken down into 3 modules, and we're currently in build with some amazing companies, both here in Australia and in the US. So if you're a recruiter or manager here, our Talent Scout module combines publicly available and enterprise data from systems like your HRIS, ATS or LMS to create automatic employee skills profiles. No need to nag employees to fill this in themselves, which we know is incredibly difficult. This gives you an X-ray of the people and skills within your organisation, giving you the power to tap internal talent on the shoulder and monitor the health of your skills and capabilities via our Talent Insights suite. And we know career paths aren't always linear anymore. So our Talent Navigator module puts employees in the driver's seat of their own career by helping them map out and navigate either lateral or upwards career moves within your organisation. We give employees visibility of the skills they need to develop to take them from their current role today to where it is they want to be. And this addresses one of the biggest queries and concerns we've heard from employees in our research and in our experience. Where's my career going and what do I need to do to get there? And finally, our talent marketplace matches an employee's current and aspirational skills to internal development opportunities, things like jobs, projects, learning, and even mentorship. This allows employees to develop new skills, preview new careers, and at the same time, helps your business staff up projects from within, reducing those external recruitment costs. And knowing that you're only as strong as your team, I'm really proud of ours. We're former Randstad colleagues who've worked in the talent and HR space for something like 40 collective years, and we're supported by some of the best in the business. So if you're looking to increase internal mobility and your employee retention, if you want to support your employees to find their career path and gain access to better talent analytics at the same time, we'd love to speak to you and hear your questions now. Thank you so much.
All right, well done. Well, we have 5 minutes left for questions.
Hit me with it.
Lovely. All right, so where does your data come from to create the predicted skills profiles?
So what we've done is we've taken, the data comes from millions of data points. So it's historical job ads and resumes. So if you think of it, and this is the same with the way that the lateral and advancement career roles are predicted as well, is if you think about like how Amazon serves you up a book based on the behavior of other people like you, this is the same with careers. So based on millions of previous data points, we can understand the typical skill requirements from job ads and the typical skills declared by people in those roles to create those predicted skill profiles and predicted advancement or lateral moves.
All right, great. Now we've got a few popping in here now. So James asks, do you integrate with ATSs or other HR platforms? How are they accessed?
Yes, we've currently done we've done our first HRIS integrations this month, which has been fun. For anyone who's done that before in their past lives, they'll know how challenging that is. We've also integrated with some company directory type tools where we grab together not only professional data, we've also grabbed together data about people as human beings. So for one particular organization, they've pulled in things like, what am I reading right now? What are my hobbies? What's the name of my pets? And this is in an effort to make sure people can connect with one another remotely and build those relationships in an easier way. So when they're having a conversation with someone, they know a bit more about not only the professional side of that person, but also the human being side. So that's been fun. Yeah, it's been really nice to do.
That's great. Now, Renata asks, says, great idea. Who is training the managers on how to support staff through those opportunities?
That's a really great question. So the client that is further advanced in this is our customer in the US. And this is a really unique organization. For one, that they don't use job titles at all. So this has been a really interesting organization for us to work with. They're quite groundbreaking. But in this particular instance, we're blessed that they have a number of coaches who are really supporting people, and they're dedicating their time to supporting and coaching people. And this is something that we're doing side by side with this organization. So our main stakeholder is generally the people team. Mm-hmm. We provide training and toolkits, but in this case, we're learning a lot from having dedicated coaches in one customer. So it's a definite collaborative effort.
All right, great. Peter asks, what size of organisation is it targeted to?
This is another good question. So the customers we're working with now range from between 600 employees to about 3,000. That's probably our sweet spot at the moment, given where we are, but we can go larger, let's say. So between 700 and 3,000 employees is where we're focusing at the moment.
Wow, okay, great. Emily wants to know, what's the cost model? Is it subscription based on company size?
It is absolutely a subscription-based model. We've also, so it's a per employee per month basis. We've also been doing some pilot and project work as well. So we've been separating the different modules according to the different needs of customers. So in some cases, we've gone live with module 1 and not the full stack, for instance. So yes, it is on a subscription basis.
Great. Richard says, thanks, Helena. To confirm, is the product only for internal mobility? Can it be used to create talent communities of external people?
I'd say right now our focus is on internal talent communities, let's say, but given our recruitment backgrounds, it's not impossible to imagine how this could apply to an external talent network in the future.
Great. Alistair would like to know, how would the data within the profile interact with a core HR profile?
Just to clarify that question, I wonder, I'll go ahead and answer my best, because I know that this isn't interactive. So at the moment, we're able to pull data from multiple sources and house it in our system. There's no one yet has asked us to push that data back into a core HR system like a Workday, but it's not inconceivable to think that we might do that for some customers. So at the moment, it's one way in, but we will be able to explore pushing data back out if we have a customer who requires that.
Right. What's a revenue model? So I think we covered that with subscription. Optimum size we've already got. Could we base employee remuneration on skills held by individuals and their currency in the employment marketplace? Oh, I like this.
I wonder if I know who might have asked that question. Absolutely. So within our data structure, we're able to understand things like the skills that make you more valuable in the market, and also potentially the advancement roles or lateral roles that acquiring new skills might unlock to make you more valuable as an employee. We've got this fantastic advisor, Dirk, who you saw in a previous slide, who's the founder of a people analytics business in the Netherlands, who's supporting us to do some testing and modeling to understand that if I earn this skill or acquire this skill, then I become more valuable, either to myself as an individual, because it allows me to earn more salary, or perhaps the value of my workforce increases because I'm increasing their value. So it's an interesting concept that we're piloting. We've got a really interesting head of insights and analytics who's playing around with us.
Time is up, right?
Excellent. Good question. Thank you so much.
All right, now listen, if you liked Helena's pitch, it's very important that you log yourself into Slido. I'm going to take back over the slides again, and we're going to head back here. And I'm just going to go back and share that screen with you again. But if you go into comments, if you're doing it on your computer, there is a full link in there, because who wouldn't want to spend a casual $100,000 and, you know, just go drop that on a Wednesday morning. And while we're at it, Paul, yes, I did see, and here's my Casio. Love it. Now on to our next entrant, Betty, co-founder of DivTal. So Betty, you can drop on in, unmute yourself, pop your video on. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, we cannot wait for your session. So let's get that underway. And again, folks, pop your questions for Betty in the Q&A section, not comments, and I will be able to ask them for you live on air. All right, timekeeper, on we go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Betty Otho, the co-founder of DivTal. I'm super excited to be pitching a purpose-driven social enterprise to all of you today. I know the audience is full of industry professionals, investors, and I'm sure after today, new DivTal clients. I can't tell you about DivTal without first sharing my co-founder and I story. Lorna and I both graduated and really struggled to find and even kickstart our careers in our fields. We found ourselves applying for multiple jobs, being told we're not the right fit, our favorite thing, and also being told that we are the great candidates, but we've just missed out. As you can imagine, we really felt that really demotivated and really nearly gave up on the actual Australian dream that our parents brought us over here to embark on. It was only through a diversity program that we were able to really kickstart our careers. And as you can tell, there was no stopping us after that. You're probably asking yourself, why does this story sound so familiar? The reality of it is, for many Black, Indigenous people of color, this is a very similar story in the way that we embark on looking for jobs. We are told, and many stories tell us that we are not the right fit. We apply for over 100 jobs and never hear back. Or one that really disturbs me, lots of stories where people have actually been told to change the name on their resume and actually try and put a more Western name so their applications can be noticed. Unfortunately, this is the reality for many Black, Indigenous people of color, also known as BIPOC, when it comes to them job searching. So we identified there's a disconnect. When we interviewed and spoke to many Black, Indigenous people of color, they told us that they are not being selected for roles. And when they are being selected, they find that workplaces are not inclusive and they are not progressing. While organizations were telling us that although they want to diversify their talent and actually diversify their shortlist and actually have BIPOC talent on board, that they are not applying for jobs. And our personal favorite, they don't even exist out there, which is crazy to hear. So we decided to create a simple solution. We decided to create a job board that allows BIPOC job candidates to connect to inclusive employers who really celebrate their difference and see their experiences as a cultural add. We also understood that employers want to do the right thing. So we wanted to support them with that. So we decided to create training and consulting to allow employers to create the inclusive workplaces that we know that our BIPOC employees need to feel like they belong and also feel like they can thrive in. So what is the business case? Why hire BIPOC talent? Besides the good old, it's the right thing to do that you probably hear all the time, or some people saying, let me just do it. It's the tick in the box that I need, or it's the new thing that everyone's talking about. There are many benefits and evidential benefits to recruiting BIPOC talent. Research tells us that diverse organizations have over 19% higher revenue and are 70% more likely to capture a new market. And as you can imagine, as you're connecting with all this diverse talent, you're able to connect with all these new customers. Also, we add so much life into an organization. You're able to create a lot more creativity, a lot of ability to adapt to change, and also very much the way forward, which is innovation. BIPOC talent is known to bring that into an organization. It is obvious and evidential, and there are many organizational economic benefits to hiring BIPOC talent. So it's not just about getting the warm and fuzzies. So our traction so far, we launched right in the midst of COVID, like a lot of startups, because that's how we are. We're risk takers. So last year we launched, this time around last year. And since then, we're very proud of our traction. We've been able to support 19 employers and work with 19 employers to be able to connect them to BIPOC talent. And most importantly, we've been able to support over 60 candidates within their job readiness and job search efforts. So we're very proud of that, but we know there's so much more opportunities to be created. So what is our competitive advantage? Why work with us essentially? Besides the fact that we are an organization that can really help you connect to BIPOC talent. Our talent pool is growing by the minute every day. We nearly have over 100 candidates in our talent pool. Our online job board is easy to use. It also has video resume feature that allows you to actually hear from our talent and actually connect with our talent. I think one thing that really stands out for us is the fact that we have a lot of networks and a strong reach into the community, into community groups from BIPOC spaces. And we really lean and utilize those networks to be able to connect more opportunities. But really, the real reason I think that we really stand out is our dream team. Our dream team is made out of people, 3 people who are super passionate and have been working very hard in the last year to be able to create opportunities and also be doing the right thing and playing it forward for a community that since COVID needs more help than they ever have needed before. Our talent consists of us as co-founders, Lorna and myself, having over 15 years of HR experience within the UK and also within Australia. And our main areas, I say that we really thrive in are talent management, early career talent management, and of course, diversity and inclusion. We also have a very enthusiastic operational lead who also looks after our candidate experience. And she is also has a background in corporate social responsibility. And as you can tell, we share the same surnames because she's my sister. Talk about definitely a dream team that continues to work really hard to build DivTel and create more opportunities. So why work with us? Be part and join the movement. I think it's, if you really think about who you are as industry professionals, you are really the gatekeepers into helping create more opportunities, giving people a chance and being part of a more equitable future. So if you would like to be part of creating a more inclusive future of work, we'd love for you to invest in us and invest in creating a more future of work. And we know we can only do that together. So we'd love to hear from you.
All right, well done. Well, we have a few questions here, Betty. So first of all, James wants to know, how are you attracting job seekers to your platform?
So we attract job seekers through webinars, Instagram job readiness events. So we have Instagram lives where we talk about tips on becoming more job ready and really giving them the tools to understand what they need to be working on and how to make themselves a more attractive applicant. So webinars, we have free resources, and we also are now looking to work with a lot of clients around creating events that allows candidates to actually connect with them as organizations, and allows organizations to actually start talking about how they are employers of choice for BIPOC, because actually we need to also know why should we come work in your organization. So we're looking to work with a lot more clients to really be able to talk about their workplaces and how they are being more inclusive.
And do you have any tech IT talent? What kind of sort of industries and roles do you focus on? 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, so we focus on very different industries and different roles, because we know that our BIPOC talent actually is looking at completely different industries. So we definitely look at technology roles, and we look at nearly every industry, as long as they're corporate head office roles.
Can you give an example or two of companies that have already signed up that you support?
Yep, so we've worked with a lot of startups, so they are very new startups. We haven't worked with any large organizations yet, but a lot of the work we've done are a lot more smaller startups. And we have also worked with a few organizations that are more community-based as opposed to large organizations.
Well, I think that is about to change. I mean, even in the comments here, it's James Telfer says, let's set up a time to speak next week. So
yeah, I'd love to hear from you, James.
Things from here on in. Thank you so much, Betty. Love your pitch. And I'm just going to take back the screen for a minute. So a reminder, we're giving everyone $100,000 today. Sadly, again, not real money. There's two ways that you can be part of the vote. On your phone, go to Slido and type in iLab 2021, or jump into the comments, and if you go back, you'll see Lucy has popped a link in if you would like to be a voter, be a judge, and invest from your laptop. So, all right, our entrant number 3, Michelle Fotheringham, founder and CEO of Workling. Michelle, if you want to join us on screen.
Hello, Jo, and hello, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Let's get this up.
All right, I'm going to leave you to it. We're going to start our 10 minutes, and I'll see you at the end for Q&A.
Thanks so much, Jo. Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Fotheringham, and in 2019, I noticed 2 things that started me on the Workling journey. Firstly, I saw more and more people opting out of in-house roles. These corporate escapees were sneaking under the fence and seeking more flexibility and really the type of work that aligns to their strengths. The thing that really stood out to me is it wasn't the shit people, it was the top talent. Secondly, I saw that Australia was really lagging behind when it came to the professional gig economy. The proliferation of existing platforms was simply not fit for purpose. Organisations were still constructed around a predominantly static workforce, built on the assumption that we need the same number of people with the same capabilities all of the time. And any on-demand talent like freelancers and independent consultants that were used were very much treated as vendors and not as a part of the talent solution. Then, of course, COVID hit, and the need for a more dynamic workforce is more real than ever before. The idea of scaling up with high recruitment costs and scaling down with redundancies just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And while it may not be another pandemic, whether it's political, climate, technology, we know that future disruption is guaranteed. Organisations need to be more nimble, more malleable, and their talent strategy really needs to enable this. And this is where Workling comes in. We help organisations to broaden their view of the talent ecosystem and provide access to trusted on-demand talent. But let's connect this to talent acquisition's current reality. I'll just touch on a couple of these. So often you're asked to find something that just doesn't exist. We force work into these things called jobs, which often means that complex work is bucketed together with less complex work. Different capability sets are being squished together, and the capability needs are assumed to be static over time. Not all work needs to be represented as jobs. Some work is better designed and resourced as short-term, outcome-focused projects or gigs. We can reconfigure the work with you and can connect you with talent who want to work in this way. The other pain point that we hear all the time is around time to fill and leaders and talent acquisition simply drowning in CVs. When leaders come to you, they need talent yesterday, or more likely the day before yesterday. We work with organisations to proactively curate pools of on-demand talent who is ready to go when you need it. The other thing that we hear a lot of is the sourcing of on-demand talent. So freelancers and independent consultants are typically reliant on the leader's professional network. But the reality is that any one individual's network has its limitations, whether that's the capability domains that they have within their network, geographic locations, or diversity. Workling digitizes and extends your trusted network. And our platform does this in two ways. Firstly, by quickly matching you with on-demand talent or teams of talent, work teams from our community who deliver on your immediate needs. The second way we do it is by building proactive talent pools so you can bring pre-approved talent into your organisation when you need them and leave them on the bench when you don't. We know that not all organisations are ready for this, but we provide practical tools, learning programs, and a pilot approach for those who are on a bit of a journey. For now, these are the capabilities we have within our community: talent who understand the workforce, the community, the customer, and the strategic context. We get asked a lot about how we're different, so I'll touch on that very quickly. Firstly, Workling's on-demand talent is all peer recommended, meaning that they've been referred to us by top talent. Our on-demand talent all have in-house experience. They are not career consultants. They know how to get things done within an organisation. Our talent forms a really diverse community with a strong sense of belonging. We've got about 70% of our talent are women, 19% BIPOC. We have LGBTIQ, neurodiverse, First Nation, regionally based talent. The last couple of ways that we differ: we don't advertise gigs. We're not a jobs board. We simply match leaders to the best possible person or team of people to deliver on the outcome. And this AI is only going to get stronger over time. The last one I'll touch on is, around no more to pay. We don't own our talent. Once they've been matched to you, they are then in your network and you have that relationship. So there's none of this kind of coming back to us to pay more if you want to engage them again in the future. So I've talked very quickly, but really you're going to fall into one of three buckets here. You're either going to just not buy it and feel that the future of work looks like jobs within a traditional structure, and that's fine. If you fall into the middle bucket, you 100% agree, Michelle, you are a genius, but the reality is that this is bigger than just talent acquisition. I totally agree, but you just might be the thought leader that your organization needs right now. And we are absolutely here to help, whether that's with a small pilot, cost analysis, case studies, whatever it may be. And if you are in the last bucket, let's do it. We would love to chat. We are so excited about the journey we're on, and along with the amazing businesses we've been partnering with, we are just so excited about the future of work. So let's talk and shoot your questions at me now.
All right, terrific, Michelle. So we've got a question here from Oliver. How do you plan to keep the candidates in talent pools engaged in such a competitive market?
It's a really good question. So a part of Workling, not only do we want to be connecting businesses with this talent, but we know this type of talent does miss that sense of community and connection that can come that they lose when they step out of those internal roles. So we've got quite a strong community network within Workling, and we allow organisations to tap into that sense of community and find ways to strengthen that relationship between talent and the organisation. So it's really about leveraging that sense of inclusion and belonging that we already have within the community.
Love it. So anyone else with a question, just type them into the Q&A box. Here we go. What type of people talent do you have ready to go in the platform today?
Yeah, so right across those domains that I flashed up before, so anything across the people and culture space, marketing, communications, strategy, and experience design are the capabilities we're focusing on right now. Our talent, the one thing to keep in mind really is our talent are those true gig freelancer type people. So they're often working across a number of different projects and a number of different organizations at once. So yeah, we've got talent right across those types of those types of capabilities ready to go.
Lovely. Peter says, who do you see as your competitors?
Look, I think the closest thing is probably Expert 360, which who probably, I think at least initially played in a very similar space. I think from what I've heard, they've gone a little bit more towards the kind of contractor side of things, whereas we're really in that gig space. Our other competitors that we really see are consulting agencies. So a lot of this work, you know, you go to your PwCs or your big consulting agencies, and for $5,000 a day, sometimes you might get a grad sent out. What we are excited about doing is giving organizations, you know, direct access to talent that has 15, 20 years internal experience. And for that type of money, you can get a hell of a lot more in the free market.
Lovely. Now, give us, we've got 27 seconds, a quick example of a client that's used your service. So what have, say, Coles or Aussie Post done?
Yeah, so a really recent example, we've done some work with Bupa, who had a big project to deliver. The leader just knew that the team was going to be crunched to deliver and pulled in a resource from Workling to help get it across the line and not burn her team out. We've worked with scale-up organisations who rapidly growing, the capability they had yesterday isn't the capability that they have today and need tomorrow. So to help bridge that high growth gap. And then startups as well, who just don't need a certain capability all the time. They need it some of the time. So we've had lots of examples.
Wow.
Yeah, great work we've been doing.
That's our time up, Michelle. Thank you so much. You did really well. Perfect. So we have 2 more pitches for you. And can I just say, we've had women pitch in the Innovation Lab before, but never have we had the majority. So we have 2 more to go. Let me just take over the screen. I think most of you have now logged into Slido and are ready to cast your vote. All right, so up next we have Tom Riley, founder of Trigger. Tom, there you are. G'day.
Hello, everyone. How are you going?
Yeah, very well. Now, Tom, we are going to set your 10 minutes, restart the clock for you and set you up. I'm going to drop out and leave you to it, and then I'll see you for Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. Trigger is a Sydney-based software as a service platform that helps sales teams, recruitment agencies, and talent teams harness the power of public web data to do their jobs more efficiently. Our mission with our talent products is to source real-time data that helps our clients attract and retain the best talent. And so our problem, as we see it, is quite simple. The data needed to make optimal talent decisions is very disconnected. If we look at jobs data alone, for example, which is just one part of the overall puzzle, we have things like LinkedIn, Jora, Monster, Indeed, Seek, Google Jobs, industry-specific job boards, company websites, and more that all have jobs data. Our solution is to bring together all different types of information that's publicly accessible that helps our clients make better talent decisions. So why are we doing this now? So for three main reasons. Firstly, I think we can all agree that the HR space is a huge and growing market. It's predicted to reach 40 billion by 2028, with software making up a large portion of that. Secondly, more and more public data becomes available each and every year. And finally, there's a huge opportunity to bring this data together and help businesses make sense of it, which no one has really tapped into yet. So now I'm going to run you through a few of our products, the first of which is our candidate search. And for hard to fill roles in a competitive market like we're in now, the chances are slim that your ideal candidates will find their way into your inbox. You have to proactively go out there and find them. You can use Trigger to identify and attract high quality passive candidates based off location, skills, time in role, job titles, and many more filters to find the best candidates who have the highest propensity to be open to new roles. The example in the video shows through finding an employee who lives in Sydney, has been in their role over 12 months, works in senior marketing roles, has previously worked for top tech companies, and has also used Pardot, which is an enterprise marketing automation platform. As you can see, you can use filters to build highly targeted headhunting lists that cover the market in just seconds. The next feature that I'm wanting to show you guys today is our market intelligence feature. It's used to uncover demand for particular roles and get a snapshot of what that market looks like. In this example, we found 131 companies that have a live data scientist role that's been posted in the last 30 days. You can use this data for things like salary benchmarking based on demand, helping to build your go-to-market strategy, setting realistic timeframes, and understanding the businesses that you're competing with. Speaking of businesses that you're competing with, we also have competitor business intelligence data, which enables you to see the live job roles that organizations currently have available, historical hiring volumes month on month, a detailed breakdown of what department they're hiring in, as well as where they traditionally source talent. And this data can be used to make time-based decisions around competitor hiring trends, source talent from their pool during slow periods, and reposition your value proposition. The next feature, I believe, is a game changer for talent teams. We're able to actively predict role change by looking at average tenures for age, gender, industry, companies, job titles, location, promotion patterns, experience patterns, market demand, company news, and sentiment to determine whether or not an employee is likely to change their roles in the next 6 months. We also know where businesses traditionally source their talent from, which means we're able to notify our clients of candidates that are, one, likely to be a good match for the current role based off historical hiring trends, and two, are likely to be open to opportunities. This means that you're able to reach passive candidates at the right time and on autopilot, and conversely can be used for internal talent retention. So if you're working for a recruitment agency, you're also able to use our real-time notifications to source clients. And at the moment, it's probably very likely that given the current market, you have too many roles to fill. However, it's probably not going to be the case forever. And you can future-proof your pipeline by using Trigger to receive real-time notification on events that matter. Some of the important events that our clients receive are things like organizations posting roles that you have strong candidates for, employee movements from a client into a new organization, overseas companies expanding through to Australia, large hiring growth in a particular category, candidate placement moves into decision maker roles. And finally, our last tool that I want to talk to you guys about today is our Chrome extension, which can be used to access our real-time market intelligence data, such as contact details, news, recent key hires, technology usage, hiring trends, live job roles, and more, all as you browse the web. So we believe that our competitive advantage beyond having very unique products that aren't available elsewhere are around our data. So we have more jobs data than any single source, which means we're able to give a detailed and complete view of what the hiring market looks like. We also simply have more data points. We're collecting information on news, employee movements, tech installs, international expansions, fundraising, M&A, and more to provide holistic views of markets and companies. We focus on constantly collecting data rather than delivering static, outdated information. We're delivering real-time insights around data that's important to our clients. And Australia and New Zealand is often ignored from a data perspective, and many of our competitors have weak and outdated data in this market. Our business model is designed to have features and pricing all the way from individuals through to enterprise teams. And some information on our business. We traditionally sell our software to B2B sales teams, recruitment agencies, and internal talent teams. In 2020, we were fortunate enough to be announced a Consensus Award winner alongside past winners Atlassian and WiseTech Global. And we're already working with some fantastic customers here in Australia. If you enjoyed our presentation, please give us your money today. And if you'd like to try our products, please feel free to get in touch through the details on the screen. Thank you very much.
Give us your money. Love it. Oh, well done, Tom. Really well done. And while I wait for those questions to pop in, the question I've got is like, who do you see in the organisation as being the person using this data? Is this a case of, you know, everyone in the talent team, or is there one kind of very kind of data analytics driven person feeding that back?
Yeah, I would say it's more of a case of having everyone within the talent team use it. But traditionally what we see, we call them power users in the organization. And it's generally people that have a really good grasp on how to use technology and get the most out of it, that are able to come up with creative solutions to use our product. And part of getting the most out of it is being very creative around how you set it up and what you look for.
Where did the idea come from?
The idea actually originated from, I was building a go-to-market strategy for a Sequoia-backed startup in the sales space. And from there, it just kind of transitioned. My background has been in recruitment, so I always wanted to build tools that help recruiters do their jobs more efficiently. And so we ended up branching out and building tools that help solve problems for recruiters.
Love it. Well, Peter wants to know, what's the biggest customer pain point that you solve?
Well, the pain point kind of varies. So as I mentioned, we sell into sales, talent, and HR teams. I would say the biggest pain point that we can solve for clients at the moment in the current market is being able to provide them candidates who are passive at the moment, but are more open to job opportunities right now. As we can see, like at the moment, it's a very talent-driven market. There are so many roles out there and it's very competitive. So having that is a big thing for internal HR teams at the moment.
Lovely. Does your tool have any functionality to assist with diversity objectives?
Yeah, so that's a really interesting question. It's something that we've kind of baked into our models, is to look at diversity, because if you look at roles traditionally, there's a little bit of bias amongst data. And it's something that's been a big problem around AI, is not really having the ability to differentiate between that bias. So it's something that we've thought about while building our models. So yes.
Lovely. And do you have any competitors in the market? Who would the closest be?
I would say in terms of different products, we have different competitors. So LinkedIn Talent Solutions is probably one. Overseas, we have competitors that are doing roughly similar things in Europe. One of them that springs to mind is called Vinu, with a little bit less focus on the talent side and more so focused on helping sales teams.
Right. It sounds like you've got, you know, several different competitors out there, but yours is a product that sort of brings all of those things together.
Yeah, that's correct. We have many different competitors across sort of technographic search, hiring search, employee data, but in terms of platforms that bring it all together, we're kind of in our own league at the moment.
Yeah, Grant saying that he would see this as a challenger to LinkedIn Talent Insights. Lovely. And from a implementation perspective, I mean, how does that kind of work? Is this just kind of like a login situation? You know, how difficult is it?
Yeah, so it's a SaaS platform. You'll get access to an account. You can log in. You can invite team members through to your account. We have integrations into many different platforms. So at the moment, Salesforce CRM, HubSpot, Slack. So you can get notifications of candidates that are likely to be open to roles literally in your Slack channel for your HR team, which makes it even more powerful.
Love it. Fantastic. Well, I think that is our time up for now, Tom. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. All the best.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll come back here to the share again. And, you know, that brings us now to our final competitor, who is no stranger to the ATC stage. Hi, Tim.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So Tim has pitched in the Innovation Lab before. You've also been a speaker on stage around benching.
Yes.
Benching candidates. So and Tim is known in the circles as a bit of a hardcore expert pitcher. So this
No pressure.
man knows how to pitch. So look out. Beautiful. Well, I think almost everyone has logged in now. They've got their Slido details. So for anyone still looking for that information, if you go back through the chat comments, there's a link there that you'll be able to access from your desktop. And very shortly, as soon as Tim has finished pitching, we're going to drop your $100,000 into your wallet, and we'll be asking you who you would like to invest that in today. So Tim, we're going to start the clock. Over to you, and I'll see you for Q&A.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me back and for everyone coming so that I can tell you about BenchOn's latest product, which is BenchOn Independence. So why as a business-to-business platform would we incorporate independent contractors? Well, the Zero Boss Insights report of 2021 showed that sole contractors are the largest sector of the Australian business community. And over the last 4 years, there's been a huge growth in numbers. Now, that's across all contractors. Now, and when BenchOn talks about independence, we're not talking about gig workers or people doing it as a side hustle. We're talking about the professional independent contractors that are highly skilled, they're in demand, and they're looking to manage their own careers. The reason we built it was because we had huge demand from our current business clients. They were sick of using databases to collect up independent contractors over the years and then sending out thousands of bulk emails every time they had a position to fill. The databases just took too much time to manage, the information was never accurate, and it always produced poor results with a lot of positions just remaining unfulfilled. The independents actually were reaching out to us a lot because they had no control over their information. They didn't know what businesses or agencies had their resumes or how they were using it. And we heard countless stories of unscrupulous behavior from some companies and agencies that were actually destroying the reputations of some independent contractors. So we had to stop that. And as everyone knows in this audience, good talent is hard to find. So we need to make it as efficient as possible for businesses to tap into all of the talent pools they have available. And our technology could support that. So for an independent contractor, BenchOn Independence is like Netflix for contracts. They get full control over their own profile, their resume, their rates, and their availability, and it's all protected under our standard non-disclosure agreement. So they choose who sees their information and when. They connect to the companies they want to work with through our company marketplace, and our AI algorithm will intelligently match the opportunities from those companies to the independent when it suits their profile. They can then respond from their phone with their interest and their rate, and they can set up their availability calendar in advance so that the system is giving them consistent contract work, even while they're on contract and busy themselves. For the businesses, this is a fully automated AI matching system that will match all of your expressions of interest, statement of work, and time and materials tasks to the contractors best suited for the role. You can compare them, negotiate, interview, and then select the ones that you want to work with. And you can make this an invite-only pool, so you have your pre-vetted independent contractors that you know, like, and trust, or you can have it open so that independents in the company marketplace can learn more about your business and join your talent pool if they'd like to work with you, therefore deepening the talent that you have available. You have 100% visibility of the talent network attached to your business, so at any point you can search by skill sets to know what the depth of that skill set is within your network. Our commercial model is a SaaS subscription, so it's a flat $250 a month with no commissions, regardless of the size of your business or how many independents you work with. And the independents pay a token $3 per month, and that not only gives them control of their profile and all of their information, but it also means that you as a business know exactly who you have available and ready to work in your talent pool. Because if the independent goes and gets a full-time job or a long-term contract, they'll cancel their subscription and be removed from your pool. We also have agency models available that would suit MSP arrangements or any recruitment companies. This system fully integrates with the main BenchOn platform. So while you're engaging with thousands of businesses all over Australia and New Zealand, you can now also manage your contractor workforce. The data from your contractor workforce also feeds directly into your business intelligence dashboard. So you now have complete oversight over your external spending on talent. And we have our BenchOn National Network, which then becomes your talent safety net if you can't fill the position. A case study we're very excited about is a small business during the beta phase received an opportunity through the BenchOn platform from a company they'd never heard of before. They sent that opportunity to their independence pool when they received submissions and rates. They selected the independent they wanted to work with and submitted that person onto the project with their final business rate. They then won the contract, and the level of effort that took from receiving the opportunity to then submitting back a resource was 15 minutes and 6 clicks of a button, which we're obviously very excited about. We're currently still in beta phase with 20 companies that are trialing and testing the system so that we can make it better, including some of the companies you can see on the screen now. Those companies submitted 4,500 independent contractor invites based on their databases. And surprisingly to those businesses, 87% of them were already all in full-time jobs or long-term contracts. So those businesses thought they had a huge talent pool, but they didn't know that the majority of them weren't available. So now they do. The ones that were available have attached themselves to an average of 5 companies. So now businesses are growing their available talent pool, not just the talent they think they have. So thanks for listening, and I hope that you'll join us in getting better contracting outcomes through mutual benefit, not only for your business, but also the independent contractor workforce.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Tim. All right. So Q&A time, guys. All right. We have a question here. Is this standalone from BenchOn, or do you need to have, the original BenchOn platform as well?
You can use this standalone. It is accessed through your free BenchOn profile, but you can restrict that profile from not being part of the national network. You can just use it for your independents. You can put your own jobs in, you can allocate them to your independence pool, and when they come back and accept it, you can then put them onto your projects. So you don't have to engage with other businesses, but it is there for you, when you want it.
Great. And, given you already had such a successful product with, your original BenchOn, what led you in amongst growing that out to create BenchOn Independence?
Well, I always said, we're not recruitment. And I actually said to the team, we're not independents either. We are purely like business to business, which has its own unique challenges. And when our customers just kept asking, going, look, it's great you've solved the business to business side, but we really need to sort out the independents. We were sort of looking at it over time, but it was when the independents came to us with stories. Like I heard one guy who was going for a job with a Big Four consulting firm. He didn't get the job because they said he was too unreliable. And then when he questioned that, they said, well, you've been put forward for 4 jobs this year and you've never shown up to an interview. And he hadn't applied for any jobs.
Wow.
So there were companies putting him forward that he had no idea about. So when we heard that, we were like, well, I think something needs to be done to fix this.
We're going to solve this. Lovely. All right. Now, what challenges exist in providing the same solution across different industries?
The biggest challenge we have is how do we translate skills and job titles across different industries? Because we're industry agnostic. And as you would know, some industries call it one thing and the exact same job is called something completely different. So we've built in machine learning into our algorithm so that over time it's getting smarter in saying, oh, you said this, but what we think you mean is this, this, and this.
Right.
And so the more that we use it over the years, the smarter it will become, and the more we'll be able to transition talent from industries that you never would have thought to look in.
And James wants to know, we've got this growing work from home appetite. Mm-hmm. Is that working in your favour, BenchOn's favour?
Both. I would say that the remote work has increased. It used to be about 10% of the work on the platform was remote enabled, and that's jumped up to about 35% now, which is something we're really happy to see because especially during COVID, it's important.